I had the pleasure of speaking with Kerry Cunningham. He's the head of research and thought leadership here at 6sense. Hey, Kerry, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me.
My pleasure. Great to be
So
here.
you're launching, I'm super excited about this conversation. You're launching literally today, the 2024 Buyer Experience Report.
That's right. Yeah.
Let's dive into some of the exclusive insights right here on this podcast.
Let's do it.
Yeah, the first one, let's start, actually, let's take a step back. Let's start with like executive insights. What is this buyer report all about? And then we can dive into a couple of key topics.
Main things people should understand are that, we've talked about marketing and sales needing to be aligned for a long time, and most organizations have failed to get there. What we really need to be thinking about is aligned to how buyers buy in B2B. Both marketing and sales need to be aligned to that. And so our research is about how buyers buy in B2B. What does that buying process look like? When do they make decisions? When do they talk to sellers? Those things are really critical for everybody in this business. And that's what the report's about.
I love it. What are some of your favorite insights after writing that?
Yeah, so first of all, this is the second year that we've done the study. We did it last year just in North America, about 936 responses. This year we took it global with 2,500 more responses, and everything that we found last year was replicated perfectly this year with nice nuance between countries and all of that. So what I'm telling everybody is this stuff is true. And so what we know is that buyers do not talk to sellers until about 70% of the way through their buying journey. And that's a number that's been around for a little while. That's not earth-shattering, but what they tell us is that they manage when that conversation happens. So 81% of the time, buyers are the ones who initiate first contact with sellers. And then the part that's really a radical new understanding of how this works with buyers and sellers is that buyers say that they initiate contact 81% of the time, and when they initiate contact, it happens 70% of the way through the buying journey. Most of B2B's organizations are set up to have BDRs and sellers call and email buyers and try to cause those conversations to happen on their terms. But even when buyers say that their first interaction was with a seller because they responded to an email or a call, it happens at the exact same time as it does if the buyer initiates that contact. In other words, it doesn't matter if you're calling them and emailing them and sending them messages on social. They're not going to respond until they're ready. And it's very, very consistent. That is actually a radical new understanding of how this works, because we've always thought we can make that conversation happen. We'll just call them and email them. We'll do blitzes and all of that. Buyers say, no, not going to have it. We'll talk to you when we talk to you. We'll talk to you when we're ready, is what buyers are saying. And then, so what does ready mean? This is also a really radically different understanding of the buying process. Ready means that buyers will have set their requirements for what they want to buy as an organization 80% of the time plus before they talk to sellers. So you're not getting, as a seller, for the most part, you're not getting a chance to help define what those requirements are. And then the other thing is buyers say that they know who their preferred vendor is 80% of the time plus prior to talking to sellers. In other words, before they talk to any seller in their buying process, they have picked a winner. And so the first 70% of the buying process is about not just researching solutions, but actually picking a winner. The last 30% is about validating that decision. And everybody in the world knows about confirmation bias. When we want to believe something, when we're motivated to believe something, we really only attend to information that's consistent with what we want to believe. Our whole political system is built on that idea right now. And that's true of B2B. So the first 70%, they establish what their preferences are. The last 30% is about collecting information from vendors that validates the choice that they've already made. So it very rarely changes after that.
And what the exact terminology you guys use in that report is buyers say, don't call me, I'll call you.
That's right.
I love that. As we approach 2025, I mean, with these insights in mind, what are some things that B2B companies, demand gen marketers, go-to-market leaders can do to support this type of research?
Yeah, so the first most important thing is, well, there's one other piece of background. So one other piece of background is our research plus research from lots of other folks, outside resources, says that between 5 and 10% of your addressable market, your ideal customer accounts, are in market at any given point in time. So if you take 1,000 accounts that you might like to sell to, in any given quarter, only 50 to 100 of them are going to be in market. So it's really important that you never ever miss one of those. There's so few of them relatively. You've got to see every one of those buying processes. And because we know that those buying processes in B2B are going to be 10, 11, 12 months longer or longer, and you're not going to get the chance to talk to them until you get to 7 or 8 months into that thing, you have to be able to see those buying processes on the day that they start and start marketing effectively to them. You have to get yourself in front of them, make sure that they're aware of your brand, you're delivering experiences and content that are really going to help them prefer you as they're out there on their own deciding what they want.
So what are some do's and don'ts that you would say as the last question, because I know we're coming in short on time together. What are some do's and don'ts that you would give for leaders?
Yep. So do make sure that you see when any account that fits the profile of what you want to sell to is in market. And that means using intent data to see which accounts are in market. Don't sick your BDRs or SDRs after them. That is going to be a waste of time, and it's just going to annoy the buyers. It's a marketing activity. When those accounts go out into market and you see intent signals that say, hey, we think this account is in market, do send marketing content and tactics at those accounts to try to drive preference. But if you send your BDRs after them, just hounding them for a meeting, one, it's not going to work. You're not going to get the meeting. But what you are going to do is create a defensive buyer, one who is reluctant to engage with you because you're being pushy with them. You're trying to get them to do something they don't want to do. But do enable them. Get those buyers content and experiences that are going to help them in their buying process. So if you do that, then I think you have a really good chance of being the solution that they prefer when they decide to start engaging with you. If you don't, if you miss the buying processes, then it's just going to be a matter of luck. And if you just send your BDRs after them to try to get meetings all the time, you're just going to annoy them, probably hurt your brand.
I love those.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for those insights. Kerry, I appreciate that. The link to the 2024 Buyer Experience Report will be in the show notes for anybody who wants to go read it. Make sure you check that out because that's definitely going to be the foundation for strategies in 2025. And smart B2B companies will be looking at how to integrate processes that align with this report.
That's absolutely right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Demand Gen Made Simple show. If you found value in today's episode, please consider leaving a review as it really helps me reach more people just like you. And make sure to subscribe so you can be notified when the next episode drops. Thank you, and see you next time.